Merry Christmas, Crow fam. You're here chilling with real Satoshi Aoki. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about a few different NFT lands. The top 5 NFT lands, in fact, that I personally think are going to have a good chance of doing very, very well in 2023 and beyond. Now, why would we want to buy or invest in NFT land anyway? Wouldn't it be smarter just to save our money in a bank and get a real house in IRL from whatever country you're living in? By all means, that's probably the best and most conservative option. Work hard, save money in the bank, buy a property with a mortgage, yada, yada, yada. Folks, I know I might be sounding a little bit sarcastic here, but quite honestly, with all seriousness, there is no right or wrong way to do anything in life. So long as you're not hurting anyone else and you yourself are in a good and happy and healthy place, then I think that's okay. I personally don't have my own property in real life. I would like to one day, but in the meantime, Metaverse land is just a lot more affordable and possibly a lot more lucrative, and that's from actually my own experiences so far, my little bit of experience, because let's face it, NFT land is something that actually is pretty new. But guys, I think that if we can together find the best NFT land to possibly invest in, then, we could potentially buy an in real life land as a direct swap from our Metaverse land. I mean, that would be pretty crazy, don't you think? But guys, you must understand that I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not financial advice, and in no way am I telling you to invest in any of these NFT lands. I'm just super passionate about talking about this stuff, and I hope that really does come through in these videos. If you enjoy this, like the video, subscribe, turn those notification bells on, and to check out all the NFT lands individually, I will always leave timestamps just down below for your own viewing convenience. Now folks, I do want to quickly mention the official Satoshi Aoki channel partner, Concept 2048's Metamorphosis NFT collection. Full disclosure guys, they are a channel partner and I am going to attempt to get in on the whitelist for this one. All of the details for the whitelist, should you enjoy the project, will be at the very top of the description of this video. So what do I personally really like about this project? Well, first of all, I love the fact that all of these 2048 art pieces have been curated with a $500,000 budget, but not just that. It seems like the money has really gone to good use in really creating each of these projects in such a well thought out manner. As you can see here, this is actually from the actual art exhibition here in Venice Biennale, and you can see that it's in real life, guys. It's not just some degen metaverse play where projects have just come in and slapped some rough AI crap together. No guys, this is actually really thought out, and you can see it's getting a lot of real life exposure from real people. The art pieces are handmade, non-generative, and impulsive, guys. The artworks originate from custom crafted photographs inspired by the 4 natural elements. Color is key to Metamorphosis, as it is the major tool in influencing the spectators, that's us as the viewers, consciousness. It takes inspiration with this thought-provoking artwork from color psychology and from Aristotle's theory of color perception. As you can see here, folks, Metamorphosis are organizing the gallery with all 2048 works of art, as well as an offline exhibition listing the names of the owners who wish to participate, each of whom are united with the idea of contributing to the great cause. Now, as we can see here on the official Twitter page, which I will leave at the very top of the description of this video as well, make sure you go ahead and like their post and subscribe, especially if you want to get on and in to this whitelist here. But as you can see here, this is the creation of these NFTs in real time. So I think it's an actual mannequin, guys. Can you believe it? A real life mannequin, people actually getting dressed up. There is a hell of a lot of effort, graphic design, editing, customization, creation. This is the epitome of creativity, guys. As you can see here, absolutely fantastic. You can see that each of the pieces have been really dealt with properly, and I mean, this quite honestly would have taken some time to actually go ahead and do. So really impressed with how this has actually come together in the early stages. As you can see here, the shadow work and the light work is absolutely fantastic, and there is huge amounts of elaboration on those two features here, as you can actually see here when one of these particular pieces here is actually coming together. Folks, if you are interested in getting into the whitelist, you better hurry because the spots are limited and they are running out fast. Again, the links for the whitelist are very simple to follow and will be at the very top of the description of this video. Alrighty folks, so in no particular order, we of course will be starting off with the Crypto.com land, the first frontier. So the drop was oversubscribed. There were a lot of technical issues, some potential dodgy stuff that was going on. I personally don't think that there was any malice, bad intention from the actual creators of this project, but there just probably needed to be a little bit of better organization. But within all of this chaos, I think it can be said that there is opportunity. There's clearly a lot of FUD going along, a lot of the community members really angry and selling lands for probably a little bit less than probably what they could get for it in 6 months. Again, that is just my personal opinion, and in terms of actually buying into some NFT land as an absolute beginner in the space, this is going to be the cheapest and most affordable land. The current floor price is $55 at the making of this video. I would say that that can be very volatile from hour to hour or from day to day, so make sure you do check that one out. The amount of collectibles is also very attractive, 25,000 collectibles. I'm not sure if there are intentions to increase the supply there, but I really hope not, because it makes it a lot less exclusive. And I think 25,000, in my opinion, is a really good number for this type of collection. We got 6,261 owners, so around 25% unique ownership, which is actually really good in comparison to a lot of the other lands, the other 4 land types that we're going to be checking out at the later stages of this video. And you've got $2.8 million of traded volume, and it is on the Chronos ecosystem, an up and coming growing ecosystem that is really being fueled by the loaded lions, the cyber cubs, guys. I think the Crypto.com NFTs are going to really kind of hit the ground floor in 2023. Not all of them, but there's going to be a select few that are going to do very well. And as I did say, guys, if you're a beginner in the space and you kind of have been thinking about getting into some NFT land, then this wouldn't be the worst place to start, considering you can get a land plot today for $55 and hold it. In terms of any gameplay or anything like that, I don't believe there is anything readily made available yet, but there are different kinds of rarities, as we can see here. We've got the Dune rarity, where there actually are 15,000 pieces here. Then we've got the rares, where there are 6,250 pieces here. You've also got my personal favorite when it comes to the artwork. I just love the artwork and the design of this one personally, with 2,500 pieces and a floor of around $300. The legendaries you can pick up for around $830 to $840 at the moment, with 1,000 pieces. And the rarest land plot is going for around $3,100 as the floor price, with 250 plots. I personally think this is possibly the best buying opportunity when we talk about the rarest land plots from each of the projects. Now, guys, it's really important to remember that all of these projects, the land plays, are extremely risky, but if you're that kind of person that can easily say goodbye to all of your hard-earned money to invest in NFT land, then it could possibly be an option for you. Again, there is not really that much information, pictures, or gameplay of what is really going to be happening with this land, but essentially, guys, the rarer the land you own, the more earning opportunities you're going to have, and potentially the more value you're going to have attached to that NFT land in the future. Alrighty, folks, so my camera has actually died, but that's okay, because you don't need to see my ugly face for the rest of the video. So we're going to be looking at the Sandbox land. Now, this is theoretically the OG collection right here, the Sandbox. Personally, this is probably the most bullish land out there in the space, in my opinion, at the moment, and there's a couple of reasons why. The market cap is virtually the highest in terms of any play at the moment. If we actually have a look at NFT related coins, we got ApeCoin, Internet Computer, Axie Infinity Flow, Theta Network, and the Sandbox. Sandbox is sitting right up there. It has been sitting up there for a long time, guys. They've been around from sort of around 2018 thereabouts, and as you can see, the current market cap is a nice $708 million. I know we will be looking at an 802 million Axie Infinity Land at the moment, but Axie Infinity have not been around in terms of their actual land for as long as the Sandbox, I do believe. And it's not just that, guys. In terms of the actual aesthetic, as you can actually go ahead and see here from some actual gameplay that I did from the Sandbox a little while ago on one of my live streams, what does the aesthetic remind you of? I can tell you right now, it's a Minecraft aesthetic. So what does that mean? Folks, Minecraft has billions of users worldwide, and for some reason, people just love this pixelated artwork aesthetic. Personally, for me, I'm not actually the biggest fan, but I totally get and understand why people enjoy it, and I think that's one of the reasons why that if Sandbox continues on the right direction, the right trajectory, their land plots could continue to increase in value in a really good way. If we actually go ahead and look on OpenSea, guys, at the making of this video, so long as they don't keep adding to this collection, guys, there's 136,373 items when it does come to the Sandbox land. So the actual supply is very high. Full disclosure, I personally own 2 of these land plots. I bought in quite a while ago at around 0.3 Ethereum each. And as we can see here, the current floor price is actually sitting at 0.9 ETH with 1% listed, which is very little, with 22,848 owners, which puts it at 17% unique ownership, which is actually not too bad. Remember I said the crypto.com land was around 25%. This is 17%. We would still want to see that again a little bit higher, guys, but the actual number is pretty high. 136,000, guys. You can actually go ahead, guys, into the Sandbox, connect your MetaMask wallet, and you can actually play within the Sandbox for free and earn some sand tokens. Now, you only really win the sand tokens if you complete tedious prizes, and I personally never actually won any myself because, quite honestly, it's just too boring after a while. But in terms of marketing and mini games and potential in the Sandbox land in the future, I think it's a pretty good play, but it's a pretty expensive entry point at 0.9 Ethereum, so it'd probably be more of a play for more of a connoisseur for land, someone who's got a little bit more money to invest. But yeah, again, let me know your thoughts, guys, on this project. And that brings us to the third project, one that I'm actually looking aggressively at. Full disclosure, I do not own any Illuvium land, but I'm very much hoping I can pick up 2 plots at some time in the next few months. If we actually go ahead and have a look here, the actual floor price is sitting at around 0.38 Ethereum. As we can see here with the statistics, the volume has been 5.4 thousand Ethereum, which is pretty significant, guys. We've got 5.8k owners, and as we can see here, there are only 100,000 plots in the Illuvium universe, ranging from tier 1 to 5. Higher tier plots have more elements and fuel sites. So in terms of any actual Illuvium gameplay, we can actually see here some fantastic graphics built in Unreal Engine. Now, this is some live gameplay from the most recent developer stream at the end of 2022, and look, I think I can objectively speak for most of us gamers out here that this looks absolutely fantastic. And in my opinion, in terms of a sort of Metaverse land blockchain game, Illuvium seems to be the furthest along. They've got a huge team based out of Australia. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. It just looks absolutely glorious, okay? And it could potentially be kind of the Pokemon 2.0 of blockchain gaming. There's going to be different versions of the game. Again, as kind of mentioned before, if you own land, the higher tier land you own, you're going to be able to extract more elements, better elements, and essentially, in a nutshell, increase your overall earning potential when this game does hopefully come live sometime in 2023. Again, at a 0.38 floor, I think it's probably quite undervalued, I would say, considering the game hasn't gone live. If this game goes live and people really enjoy it and think, wow, they're actually having a really good time, I feel pretty confident that this land could easily 2 to 3x in a pretty short time, possibly in the first half of 2023, or just whenever the game actually does come out. So I'm particularly bullish about this one. It's really high up at the top of my list, especially considering I don't have it, and considering that I think it's the most bullish case. In terms of the aesthetic, guys, this is definitely a game that I'm probably going to be playing a lot more than the actual Sandbox metaverse. It's much more my aesthetic, that kind of AAA quality standard, which is going to be available always probably on the latest Xbox or the latest PlayStation. I love it. I was a big fan of Pokemon, and you know, I really just can't speak more highly enough about this game. I think the team's really good. It's really solid. They've got a fantastic community. The Illuvium token itself is actually down so much from all-time high. The tokenomics, though, are pretty good, and hopefully we're going to see some good utility come into the project at some time in the future as well. And yeah, guys, I do think this project and this land is undervalued. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Illuvium land plots. And that takes us on to the Axie Infinity Land. Now, this was possibly one of the first land plots that I actually bought around the same time that I actually bought some Sandbox land. Now, I only do have one of these plots, and I think I'm around about break even on this land, which is actually really, really good in my opinion, given the current state of the bear market, and also everything that, you know, Axie Infinity have been through. We had the North Korea hack, the bridge got wrecked, the Ronin bridge, you know, there's always issues with the Axie developers never really listening to their community. You know, there was meant to to be an SLP burn. The economy crashed and failed. People lost a lot of money on Axies. It's just been chaos, guys. But at the same time, you need to be, I think, a little bit lenient with Axie Infinity because essentially it was just an experiment, and I think they blew up a lot faster than what they anticipated. Now, one slight negative is that really, I'm not sure if we're ever going to see this Axie Land gameplay. There's a little bit of footage that we will look at in a bit, which kind of, gets our hearts racing a little bit. But as we can see here, there are actually a few different land plots here. So this is one of the plots I have. It is a Savannah land plot. And as you can see, there are 89 plots for sale at the moment, with the cheapest price being 1.04 Ethereum, which is $1,268 US. If we go ahead and look at the different filters here, you've got the forest plots, which are the deck's most rare, followed by Arctic, followed by Mystic, and followed by Genesis. So if we go ahead and look at the most rare Genesis pieces here, you'll actually discover that there are actually none for sale at the moment. If we go ahead and check out the Mystics, the floor is 9.5 Ethereum, 11,000 US, with 8 plots listed at the moment. And if we go ahead and have a look at the Arctic, we've got 26 plots listed at 3.6 Ethereum. And follow that up at 1.79 Ethereum, 55 plots listed for the forest floor. So you can see, folks, not many people are listing their land. Now, if we just take a bit of a look at some Axie Land gameplay. So again, I'm not exactly sure if this is really how it's going to look, but I'm assuming this is someone's block of land, and you can do all kinds of different things. You can craft, you can get bread. I think it's mainly a PvE based kind of game mode. So that means player versus environment. But hey, like, it looks all right. This is definitely some content which I appreciate, and if it's as good as this, or maybe even better, hopefully you can actually put your actual Axies on the land. They can do stuff, battle sort of little foes and minions on the land. Maybe you can go and visit your friend's land and that kind of thing. Then I do think it could actually be pretty cool. The art style's cute, and something I really think is a positive about this game is that, it really does accommodate for all ages. And, I have to be honest, I had a really good time playing Axie Infinity kind of before everything flopped, and there was just a lot of negativity. I kind of went off it. But, guys, let me know what you think about this Axie Infinity land play. Will this land ever come to true fruition? Do they have enough money to actually fulfill on this land? They keep pushing it back. So, there's a big question mark over their heads as to whether we're ever going to be able to play this Axie Infinity land. But if they've invested properly, if they don't go bankrupt, then who knows? There could be a bullish case for this, because at the moment, like I said, a lot of negativity around Axie Infinity. They're in a pretty rough place, and so you could argue that it could be a good buying opportunity at the floor price. And that takes us on to our fifth and final land play, which is Decentraland Land. So this Decentraland Land had a floor price of around 10 Ethereum not that long ago. Probably about 1 year ago, we were up at around 10 Ethereum, and now it's dropped all the way down to 1.17 Ethereum, just above the Sandbox, with a total of 97,914 plots, with a 2.5% creator fee on the chain Ethereum, of course, 7771 owners, 8% unique owners. And yeah, guys, I personally don't own any Decentraland. I don't own any of this land, and I'm personally probably not going to be choosing this as my first option, but I am covering it in today's video because, it is quite popular. And in terms of the aesthetic, guys, it is actually quite different to the Sandbox. A lot of people say that Sandbox is competing with Decentraland. In a way, that could be true, but honestly, I think there's definitely more than enough room for these two projects to actually coexist with each other. In terms of the art style and the aesthetic, I have to say I kind of like the Decentraland artwork a little bit more, especially if he goes ahead and actually starts flying this dragon around, which I think would be pretty cool. It actually looks like a Lord of the Rings dragon from Season 8, but, let's not get into how bad Season 8 was. But yeah, folks, I don't know, I think there's just a bit of negativity around Decentraland. For some reason, a lot of people don't really like the Decentraland play, and, maybe that's because they don't have a lot of good investment coming towards them in a similar way that Sandbox does. I don't necessarily think that they're going to flop or anything like that. But again, I am invested in the Sandbox. I've got Sandbox Land. I probably won't be getting into Decentraland Land or Decentraland, the mana token myself. But it's not to say that it can't be a good play at some point in the future. Especially given the fact that he can actually ride around on this dragon in such a way where he can literally just stand on top of the dragon with an Atari t-shirt, guys. I mean, Come on. I mean, what more do you need? That is pretty special. I'm pretty sure I've never driven around on a dragon playing the Sandbox, or probably many other games either. So, again, let me know what you think about Decentraland. I think that if you're a believer in the Decentraland project and you think it can return to a 10 Ethereum floor, you could essentially make around 10 Ethereum. So from that standpoint, in a bullish case, it could actually be a really, really good investment. But guys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. That's all I do have for you today. If you got any questions, comments, leave them in the comments. Like the video if you did enjoy it. I really hope to see you in the next video, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.